Hello and happy Monday to you. This is Mike Prince with the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Man, this past weekend was an exciting game to be a part of if you're any type of basketball fan, featuring the Prairie View A&M University Panthers and the Texas Southern Tigers. We're going to recap that game over this weekend and give you a lot more coming up right here on the Sports Report. This broadcast has been made possible by the support of the Prairie View Athletic Club. The Prairie View Athletic Club is a proud supporter of Prairie View A&M University athletics. For more information on becoming a member of the Prairie View Athletic Club, send your email to pvathletic.club@gmail.com. That email address again is pvathletic.club@gmail.com. Prairie View Athletic Club, a proud supporter of Prairie View A&M University athletics. And welcome back to the Sports Report. This is Mike Prince. As I mentioned, Saturday, I know there was a lot of good NFL playoffs going on, but what an epic performance on Saturday by the Prairie View A&M University Panthers and the Texas Southern Tigers. I mean, it was a good game. The men's game was outstanding. The women's game was great. And Prairie View ended up on the short end, but what an outstanding performance that you were able to witness if you were there. We give you live updates and reports whenever we can for Prairie View Athletics as well as Waller County Athletics. But going back to the issue at hand, the Lady Panthers fell short to the Lady Tigers by the score of 63-59. The leading scorer for all basketball performers on that night was none other than Miss Jeanette Jackson. Jeanette Jackson had a total of 30 points. She was 7 of 8 from the free throw line, 3 of 10 from three-point range, and 10 of 22 from the field. But more importantly, she played 40 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. If you know anything about college basketball, there are only 40 minutes to a game. She did not take a break. The only time she got break was at halftime. But what an outstanding performance by Jeanette Jackson. She was also assisted by Miss Larissa Scott. Larissa Scott had a total of 13 points, and she put in 31 minutes. So the Panthers fell short, and the Tigers were led by Miss Jasmine Parker. Jasmine Parker had a total of 15 points. She played a total of 27 minutes. She was 6 of 12 from the free throw line, 1 for 1 from the three-point range, and 4 of 12 from the field. So she actually earned her keep. But one of the big advantages or disadvantages, if you're looking at it from a PV perspective, was the bench scoring. The bench scoring for Texas Southern scored 34 points, while Prairie View had 3 points. We were able to catch up with head coach Dawn Brown, and here are her comments on Saturday's performance.
All right, this is Mike Prince with the Open Mic Broadcast Network. I have with me head coach Dawn Brown. A tough game to lose, coach, but pretty overall good competitive game. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think that we definitely came out ready to attack Texas Southern really hard. Our defensive scheme, I think we executed that to a T for what we wanted, especially causing them 18 turnovers. But we just missed a few layups. I think layups was a key factor in this game. We missed key layups and missed about 2 big rebounds down in the stretch that Asha Hampton Finch should have secured when we forced them to take up a bad shot. Overall, like I told the young ladies, we got to grow up as a team. We're not a veteran basketball club right now. Jeanette Jackson being only a junior, Larissa Scott being a junior, Gabrielle Scott being a sophomore. We're a young team, and we got to learn how to win and learn how to secure leads when we have leads. We had a 9-point lead down there. The last 6 minutes of the game, made a couple ill-advised fouls, and they started chipping away at the free throw line.
Yes, ma'am. Now, when you're overall 21 of 62 from the field goal, right under 35% or 34%, you want to be in that 40 to 45% range, right?
Well, you do, but we want to go with what's going. If the shot is not falling, with the way that they're calling these games now with the officiating, I've trained our girls that we got to attack the basket, and a lot of times we're getting fouled. So some of those shots, you can calculate the fact that we went to the free throw line 19 times. We're getting fouled going up to some. So, a lot of those shots those are not like just shots that we're taking from the perimeter. So we're trying to get a piece of that paint and attack the basket.
Now, speaking of attacking the basket, Jeanette Jackson had a pretty good game. When you score 30 points, I don't care what level it is, that's lights out performance.
Well, Jeanette wasn't happy about her last performance against Alcorn. We sat down and talked about it. She wants to be one of the best guards in this league, and that's something that she's expressed to me. So, she understands if that shot's not falling on that perimeter to get a piece of that paint and attack the basket. She's so versatile. We ran at the point sometime as well as the two, but she's a smart basketball player. I'm really proud of her, and I'm waiting on her to become more of a leader for me verbally. She's never satisfied, and that's what I like about her. She's always hungry.
Really good. Now, Coach, you're right in the thick of things right now because you're 1-1 in conference play, and that's really what's important. What are some key elements that you're seeing for you to continue on a strong run for the SWAC championship?
Well, I think that some of those mistakes that we had late in the stretch. We were able to capitalize on them tonight. Our defense gave us exactly what we wanted. We wanted to make Jasmine Parker work for every shot that she was going to get off tonight. And she was 4 for 12 from the field. So, our defense gave us exactly what it is that we wanted to create. So we just have to make sure that once we get in the lead, we can secure the lead. And like I said, our record doesn't reflect how good of a basketball club we have. And like I told you guys last, it's a lot of basketball left for us. And one thing about it, this team will play for me. They will play. They will not stop playing for 40 minutes. We will not hold our head down no matter what the score is. And I'm proud of them for that.
Very good. Now, there was a real dramatic swing, if you're asking me. Well, I'm just a little old reporter. But the bench scoring, it was 34-3. And that was really the turning point of the game. Huh?
Well, Texas Southern mixed things up. Jasmine Parker normally averages 20 points a game starting. So what they wanted to do is they wanted to get that spark off the bench because their bench only averages about 12, 13 points a game. So they mixed up that start lineup, not starting two of their starters in order to be more, to get more from that bench as far as scoring is concerned.
Okay. Well, Coach, I thank you so much and being gracious enough for coming over here. I know that when you're a competitor, it's hard to come and talk about things when it's so fresh on you like that, and I do thank you for that time. This is Mike Prince with the Open Mic Broadcast Network and the Sports Report with Coach Don Brown. You're listening to the Sports Report. We're going to sign off for right now, and we will see you on the other side. Thanks again, Coach.
Thank you.
That was Coach Don Brown of the Lady Panthers. Once again, the Panthers fell short, but man, what a performance by Miss Jeanette Jackson. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with our men's recap of Panthers basketball. You're listening to the Sports Report right here on the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
Hey, have you heard the news? You can now listen to the Open Mic Broadcast Network on iHeartRadio.
Really? That's tight. How do I do that?
All you have to do is go to the iHeartRadio and download the app and search OBN-Radio.
Is that it? Wow, even I can do that.
It's really that simple. iHeartRadio and the Open Mic Broadcast Network, a winning combination.
And welcome back to the Sports Report. This is Mike Prince. What a game, what a game, what a game between the Prairie View A&M University Panthers and the Texas Southern Tigers. You talking about epic proportions. in the games that were played between these two teams. It went into triple overtime, ladies and gentlemen, triple overtime, where the Panthers fell short to the Tigers by the score of 87-83. But it was an outstanding performance. Leading scores for the Panthers was Mr. John Brisco. Brisco hit a last-second shot in the first overtime to take us to the second overtime by hitting a three-pointer as time was expiring to take it to a 77-all tie and extended life yet again for the Panthers. But before that, he hit some key technical fouls. There was a bizarre incident that happened. To be quite honest with you, I don't think I've ever seen it, where there was a fan from Texas Southern that actually got onto the court after a stoppage of play. DeMondre Chapman had fouled out, and a student that was, I guess, a photographer or whatnot, but he's rolling his camera, and he's kind of taunting Chapman as they were, waiting for the official notification of him being fouled out of the contest. So anyway, that caused and added to the drama. At that time, Texas Southern is up with 5.5 seconds, and they're up by 5. So the double technical is in hand. Chapman fouls out. Brisco comes and hit the 2 free throws. Transcend down to the other side because there was a foul. And Mr. Eric Murray went to the free throw line for the Texas Southern Tigers, and he missed the free throws. So the rebound is taken by the Panthers. Pushing it up the court, John Brisco eludes his defender, jumps back to the three-point line, and nails the three-pointer as time expires to take it into the second overtime. We were able to catch up with Mr. John Brisco, and he gave his reflection on his 20-night performance.
All right, this is Mike Prince, and I have an exhausted and emotional John Brisco. Man, it was a heck of a game tonight. But you hit a key three-pointer as time was winding down, and I got a feel that when you hit that, you had a feeling that you guys going to find a way to pull this out.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I hit it. My team got excited. It was all trust from the beginning to the end, and they was trusting me with the ball, so I came down and hit it and took us into another overtime. And we were just trying to focus on execution so much that we kind of got, tentative with the ball a little bit. But, they played good defense, and we tried to play good defense. The game was kind of going their way. They drew some key fouls and came on top.
Well, you had a bizarre ending to get to that third overtime when you got this guy with the photo shop just gets all in the face of Chapman. And you hit two key technical free throws, which helps get things set up for that second goal. Explain what all went on in that situation.
Yeah, it's like keeping composure and it's just immature with the fans and stuff, and the photo guy, he came on the floor, and that's just what we needed. We stayed composed and stuff, and let them make a mistake, and we just capitalized off the mistake. I went to the free throw line. I got a good percentage of free throw, over 83%, and I had no doubt I was going to make the free throws, so I just made both of them.
Yes, sir. You had a total. From this, you were 3 of 4 from the free throw line, 5 of 6 from the field. Well, I'm sorry, 5 of 6 from the three-point range and 6 of 20. That's a big night, man. You ended up with 20 points. I know it's a tough loss, but congratulations on a stellar play on tonight, and thanks for the time, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, thanks a lot. That's Mr. John Brisco, shooting guard for the Prairie A&M University Panthers.
And once again, we'd like to thank John Brisco for coming out and speaking with us on such a tough loss down in Houston, Texas. So that now sets the table in the Western Division of the Southwestern Athletic Conference. The Prairie A&M University Panthers fall to 1-2 in conference play. Meanwhile, the Texas Southern Tigers, they jump to 2-1. But it is a long season, and they have just begun to compete. But you can mark your calendars, ladies and gentlemen, for February the 8th. That is the next time that the Panthers and the Tigers will get together at the Baby Dome on the campus of Prairie View A&M University. We were also able to catch up with Coach Rimm, and it was a tough one for him to handle, but here's what he had to say.
All right, this is Mike Prince with Sports Report and Open Mic. I have an exhausted, a winded coach. That was a heck of a game.
Yeah, it's probably tough on the soul, but I mean, if you were any type of fan of basketball, you had to love it. And I commend Texas Southern; they did a great job. Mike Davis did a great job. Both guys just gave their heart and soul for the game today, and that's one thing that, as a coach, you gotta love what those kids on both sides did tonight. And it's very hard to talk about the game after this because, everybody wanted to win. But, there is a tomorrow. And this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. So we still got 16 more games to go. We can either tuck tail and go home, or we can learn and build from this and keep it moving. So we're going to build from this. We're going to start from scratch. Even if we won, we still got to work on Jackson next week. So we're going to have to work on it and, lick our wounds and keep it moving.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, it might not look like it on paper, but Regis had one heck of a game tonight playing defense, man, and I thought there were a couple of little iffy fouls that he had on him, but his play really helped slow that tempo down in the paint.
Yeah. I mean, he's learning. He hadn't played that much basketball. Didn't play any high school basketball, and he's learning, and bigs develop late. Any coach would know that bigs develop late, and I promise you next year he's going to be one of the best posts in the conference.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, Coach, there was a bizarre scene at the end of the first overtime where Chapman fouls out, and one of the photo guys comes out on the floor. Explain what all happened. I know there was an administrative.
He's not part of the TSU staff. He's a student that ran out and, put the camera in DeMondre's face and was taunting him, and they're not supposed to leave. You gotta be mature. You're an adult and you're in college, and you gotta know that, hey, there's a time and place for everything, and that wasn't a time and place. And we found a little chink in their armor, and we capitalized on it.
Yes, sir. You had a very big performance tonight by John Brisco. He had a couple of key free throws toward the end, but then when he hits that three-pointer to send it into overtime, you had to think, we're going to find a way to pull this one out.
Yeah. We just had to give our heart and soul. And that's about the third game where he hit three-pointers sending in overtime. I mean, he's a clutch player. So, we just ran out of gas at the end, so I'm very happy with him. Like I said before, we got to do the little things during the week. You got to hydrate ourselves and do the right things when you go home. You can't do any extracurricular stuff. It's all about basketball in school. You can't go out there and party, hang out all night. You can't do all that stuff. So, like I tell them, they're college athletes. They're athletes. And, go home, rest. No time for partying. No time for drinking. No time for smoking. Because you'll tell it at the end. So we had to keep moving and do the little things in life to be successful for Saturday and Monday's game.
Yes, sir. Well, Coach, thanks a lot. I know this was tough to do, but overall it was a great performance. You expect these kind of games whenever TSU and Prairie View gets together. This is Mike Prince with the Sports Report and Open Mic Broadcast Network. The Southern Tigers, Texas Southern, got over the Panthers about 87-83. We're signing off for right now, saying God bless, and we'll see you on the other side. Thanks a lot, Coach.
As you would expect it, a very emotional and drained Coach Byron Rimm. But just as he stated, the Panthers will be back and they will recover themselves. We're going to take us our final break, and we'll be back with closing thoughts and comments. You are listening to the Sports Report right here on the Open Mic Broadcast Network, the official voice of Waller County Athletics.
Are you looking for an affordable way to increase your business? Let the Open Mic Broadcast Network lead the way. For a customized, affordable ad campaign, call 832-213-88 24.
It's basketball season, and you know what that means. Fast breaks, slam dunks, block shots, and game-clinching free throws all captured right here on the Open Mic Broadcast Network, the voice of Waller County Athletics. Serving the Waller Bulldogs, the Hempstead Bobcats, the Royal Falcons, and the Prairie View A&M University Panthers. You can catch it all at KTORradio.com or join our listen line at 213-401-0037. All righty, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to take care of Monday's edition of the Sports Report. Remember, you can listen to the Sports Report daily right here on the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Visit our website at www.ktorradio.com. You can follow us on iHeartRadio at iHeartRadio.com. Go to the talk section, then go to sports and look for OBN Sports. That's OBN Sports. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter. That's OMBN_radio. That's OMBN_radio. This is Mike Prince with the Open Mic Broadcast Network saying God bless, and we'll see you on the other side.